What is up, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Kathy and I are about to embark on a 14-hour plus flight going from Vancouver to Melbourne, Australia, guys. I'm so excited. We're actually partnering with Air Canada and with Visit Victoria to show you this awesome destination. And to get there, we've got a direct flight. It's such an honor. I've wanted to work with Air Canada from the day I started making travel videos. So I want to say a big thank you to both sponsors, but especially to Air Canada, because it's just a dream come true. I'm so excited to get started on this trip. It means that we get to see a brand new destination, and you have never even been to Australia.
I've never been to Australia. I'm super excited.
Really, the goal of today's video, though, is going to be showing you the best way that you can enjoy Melbourne when you go and visit it for yourself. So see this as a fun vlog, a travel guide. The best experiences, the best views, the best everything that Melbourne has to offer will be here in this video. Stay tuned for your guide to Melbourne.
I will make sure I find the best food for you.
Best food? That's your expertise?
It is. We have just arrived here at the QT Hotel, where we're going to be staying for the next 5 nights. And I have to say, it's one of my favorite styles of hotels. It's like this really beautiful, modern, everything about it is just incredible. This is Rachel. Hi Rachel. Hi guys.
She is gonna be our insider to Melbourne today. Alright guys, welcome to the CBD, the Central Business District. This is like the hub of Melbourne, where you're gonna find all sorts of coffee shops, chocolate shops. That's two of the big things you'll find here. And it's got like 3,500 eateries in this tiny little vicinity. But as you can see right behind me, beautiful, beautiful street art. It's very common to be found around here. It's beautiful, it brings character to the city. I'm glad they get that because it is so cool to see. So right now we are on De Grave Street, and this is the brunch laneway, probably what we're most excited about.
I think it's my favorite.
It's beautiful. And one of the really cool things with the laneways is that it's all about like the locally owned restaurants. It's not about the big chains. You won't find them here.
It seems to be very classified. You know, you have the cupcake store, the burger store, the donut store.
Everyone's got their specialties.
Yeah.
So we actually visited Australia during their winter, which is ironically the North American summer. I went from being in a t-shirt and shorts here in Vancouver to basically bundling up for the 7 to 14 degrees Celsius weather. It's actually surprisingly cold. But the awesome thing about it is it really doesn't stop you from doing anything that you would do during the summer months. There really is no wrong time to go and visit, but you may be faced with, of course, colder weather, and there is a bit more precipitation. I gotta say that one shock is that I've been in Australia for like over 3 hours now, and I still haven't seen any kangaroos. Disappointment.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
If you didn't already know, Kathy and I have been like basically trying to find the best hot chocolate around the world, and so far my personal favorites in Vancouver, hers is on a cruise ship, and Rachel is saying this is the best hot chocolate in Melbourne at Cocoa Black. So we're gonna try it out. Maybe we'll have a new favorite.
So pretty.
How's the consistency? The smells. There's many factors here.
It is really good. It's better than the one in Vancouver. I'm sorry.
Alright guys, so we got our phones all set up. It was about 25 Australian dollars, or about 20 US for 10 gigabytes of data, which is actually pretty great value, so I'm excited about that. And now we're gonna have some dinner, our first dinner here in Australia. So we're here at this restaurant called Cumulus, and I've already heard from some of the locals that this is one of the top spots to be. So we're gonna see what they have to offer us, and then we're gonna eat, dine out, and then probably get some sleep. I was definitely very jet lagged. Good morning to day 2 here in Melbourne. Now, what are we doing next? Hi there, Christian.
Christian?
Yeah.
Tristan.
Tristan, alright, that'll be easy to remember. We're gonna get some of the best views over the city of Melbourne. I'm excited to show you that. A company by the name of Microflight gave us an above the city tour of Melbourne. It lasted 20 minutes and it was absolutely stunning. Now the only setback is that it's gonna cost you around $400 US for a couple. and that's for 20 minutes. But here's the thing, if you've never been in a helicopter or you truly want to see the best of Melbourne, this is definitely one of the ways to do it. After the heli tour, a guide by the name of Luca picked us right up and he took us to the Chinatown of Melbourne. Now you might be asking yourself, why would they go there? And the answer is because this is actually the second oldest Chinatown in the entire world. Chinatown actually played a major part in the early stages of Melbourne during the gold rush. Lots of people came over from China hoping to find their riches and wealth in gold, and this is what developed the early stages of Chinatown.
Alright guys, we have arrived in Fitzroy and it's the hipster neighborhood in Melbourne, so we have a lot to see here, so come with us.
So we are right now at a rooftop restaurant, and what you're gonna find mostly in the Fitzroy area are lots of really trendy restaurants, coffee shops, places to go out for drinks. This is definitely like one of the nightlife capitals of Melbourne, so you'll have a great night out, a great lunch, whatever you're looking for. Prices are definitely gonna be very comparable to downtown, running you on the more expensive end, typically what you'll expect from a trendy, cool area. So right now we're actually driving down Albert Park, and the cool thing is we're on the Formula 1 F1 track where all these race cars come and ripping through. The really cool thing is that you're like basically just outside the city, and with the park you've got a lake. It's a nice view looking over the skyline. The next morning we were picked up to do the Great Ocean Road, which is honestly one of the most beautiful roadways I've ever seen. It wraps and it hugs along the Australian coastline and it just goes for miles on end. It's unbelievably stunning and you definitely need to make at least a day trip out of this, but I highly recommend doing 2 days on the Great Ocean Road. Alright guys, we have just arrived here at Bells Beach. Now this is actually arguably what Wimbledon is to tennis, or so I've been told. It's one of the most famous surf spots in the entire world, and it all happens right back there. Now today is a beautiful sunny day, but because it's winter, the water is apparently like 6 degrees. You definitely would need a wetsuit on for that water. Alright guys, so we've gone from the Great Ocean Road to now being on a kangaroo tour here at one of the local golf courses. Basically they have what is known as a mob, which is a group of kangaroos.
Crikey guys, we found him, a mob of kangaroos.
Once upon a time he was living in a pouch. That is not what you think it is, guys. That is a little foot.
Oh my gosh, there is a massive, perfect rainbow just above the ocean.
Would you say there's even a double rainbow?
Triple.
So one of the slogans we're learning firsthand here in Melbourne is if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It's been on and off, it's been sun, it's been rain, it's been mist, it's been like literally everything. One of the things that blew me away about this roadway is how quickly the landscapes change. We went from being on a rough coastline to all of a sudden being inland a bit and next to these incredible green rolling hills. Well guys, it is now hailing. We are seeing all that Mother Nature can throw at us as we go through the rainforest. The landscapes just change like that. You have to bring bird seed. This is what you can do. You can become a bird charmer for a day.
I'll do it.
They're biting my shit. That all happened in a matter of 10 seconds of showing bird feed. They all just came in and look at them. Oh my god. Let's see if he chills with us. We're gonna bring him with us. We've just done a little Steve Irwin stop here, a little bit of wildlife. Oh my gosh, there's a crimson rosella on top of the microphone right now. These are king parrots. Yep, only in Australia. Alright guys, the highlight of the Great Ocean Road, we have just arrived, but first... Alright guys, we have made it to the
12 apostles, which are really just like 8 apostles. It's a bit of a lie, but there used to be 9, but in 2005, that guy right there went kerplunk. He's now gone, rest in peace. And now there's 8 of them left, so I don't know where the 12 came from, but it is beautiful. Even on a disgusting rainy day, you can still appreciate the power. Now the next day, we were picked up around 5:30 a.m. right from our hotel lobby, and we were on the road about 45 minutes out to an area by the name of Yarra Valley. Katy, do you know what these are? No. They're gravestones from the people that didn't make it back.
Shut up.
Now the clouds, they weren't exactly cooperating that morning, but we still got beautiful morning light and that beautiful reddish hue that happens during sunrise. Once we got up in the hot air balloon, you could see the diversity of the region. You could see the downtown core of Melbourne in the distance. You could see the beautiful rolling hills of the Yarra Valley. And I think I've confirmed that going up in a hot air balloon is probably my favorite go-to activity wherever I go. It's like becoming a drone for an hour. It's so peaceful and quiet. The only downside is it's gonna set you back about $300 US per person, but it did include breakfast. After the balloon flight, we landed right in the Yarra Valley region, so we had to take advantage of the incredible wineries in that area. So we actually did a wine tour and a bit of a chocolate tasting. There's some fresh chocolates that are also made in that region. That right there is an awesome way to spend one of your days in Melbourne. This one right here is a pear cider, and it's absolutely incredible.
It's really good.
Cheers. Yours is apple.
Oh. I really like this wine.
So believe it or not, here in Melbourne, one of the popular foods is actually dumplings. And so right now we're at this restaurant called Super Normal, and it's a very popular Pan-Asian restaurant. I can see here it's 5:30 and it's already just packed. I'm so full. That was like a really nice meal. We had a ton of assortments of different foods, things that we've never had before.
Sorry guys, but this is the 3rd time he films it.
Hey, don't give it away. I didn't like the lighting and the other one was out of focus. But nonetheless, the food was really good. And tomorrow's our last day here in Australia, which is kind of sad. It was a really quick trip. But Melbourne is supposedly the sports capital of the world. So we're gonna show you all about that tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. All right, we are right now outside the stadium waiting for the game. We're doing a bit of a warm up here of Aussie rules football. Katy here is gonna show us how you do a Aussie rules kick.
So you gotta keep the seam straight with your body?
Yeah. There we go. Not bad. That's Anthony over there. He's our coach. He's showing us how it's done.
Okay, you have to make a fist, and this part is gonna be flat, so you use this to hit the ball.
Hey! Naturally, we had to be pitted against each other. I've been given the magpie scarf. You have the kangaroos.
Yeah,
Who's gonna win?
I'm gonna win.
Wouldn't count on it. The winner,
No,
winner gets the window seat on the way home. Back to Vancouver.
No.
Now, if you've ever seen an American sporting event, you'll know that they go crazy and they know how to fill a stadium. What may shock you though is that actually Melbourne is considered to be the sports capital of the world. With only a population size of roughly 4 to 5 million for the entire city area, they can fill out a stadium of 100,000 people. As far as stadium sizes go, that's one of the top 10 in the entire world. Guys, these right here are one of the popular foods here in Australia. They're pies. You can find them at gas stations. You can find them at Magpie games, and I'm so excited because they're amazing. Now, we got to witness the stadium firsthand with a game of Aussie rules football. Such a fun sport to watch. It's like a combination of rugby meets ultimate frisbee meets what is going on. Bring them all together and it's just a high energy, fun atmosphere to be in. The fans go crazy. Right now there's less than 5 minutes left in the game and the current score is 130 points for my team. And how's your team doing, Katy? The Kangaroo fans have started to get up and leave the stadium before the game is finished.
I'm staying here until the end.
That's what a loyal fan looks like. They don't get up and leave. There's still that chance. Pass the ball, kick the ball, punt the ball, score the ball, hit the ball. Window seat! Are you taking your scarf off?
I'm fixing it.
This is definitely one of the cool things that you should try to do if you're coming to Australia. Try to find a match that's going on. It's definitely worth it, and it can be done really affordably. Supposedly some of the decent to good seats are like roughly 50 Aussie dollars, so really not that expensive and definitely worth it. Kathy's still crying.
I have something in my eyes.
Is that your excuse?
No, it's really bothering me. I feel an eyelash.
If you're a kangaroo fan, it's always good to come with an excuse. And there is our final sunset over Melbourne from the 88th floor. All right, we are all packed up, ready to go. Eating our final breakfast here, room service. No, I don't think so. No.
I was running. You have to carry me, and my ticket says I have the window. No.
Well, as you guys know, I'm spending a lot of time in Bali, Indonesia right now, and one of the awesome things is how easily I can get right back to Melbourne. But what I'm most excited about is the fact that Air Canada now flies direct from Vancouver, Canada. So whether I'm home in Bali or home with my parents in Canada, it's never been easier to get to Melbourne, and this is definitely a place that is worth revisiting. I think it's so beautiful. It's got the landscapes, it's got the culture, and I would love to see it during the summer. I think it would be a totally different way to see it. So expect me to come back one day soon. And on a final note, guys, I want to thank Air Canada, Visit Victoria for working with me on this project. If you guys are actually from Melbourne or you've ever been and you've got some tips of your own for places to go and see, then comment them down below, because as a community we're way stronger together. I'm just one person's opinion and I would love to have yours. Guys, that's where I'll end today's video. Let's get lost again in the next one.